Hey now, good morning, happy Tuesday, Film Scoring Tuesday. I hope you guys had a great President's Day yesterday. Good day off, and we're ready to get right back to work on our shorter week, but we'll still do our little assignment today and then get it to me tomorrow. Great job with Lady and the Tramp last week. That was so fun, so cute. This thing we're going to look at today is completely different. We're going to look at another comedic genius. Although Woody Allen says that you can't be a comedic genius. I don't know why. I think you can. We're going to have a lot of laughs. So today we're going to be looking at the film, The General. So before Jackass and Johnny Knoxville and these people that are, crazy, dangerous, we had people like Buster Keaton, the silent movie star, and Charlie Chaplin. We talked a little bit about Charlie Chaplin. Remember, we looked at the studios that he built right on La Brea and Sunset, the little English village. That was Charlie Chaplin. We haven't talked about Buster Keaton. This is a film that Buster Keaton wrote and directed. Chaplin was kind of known more for skits and, comedic skits. I mean, this is generally what people say, comedic skits. Buster Keaton was more, some people say he was a better filmmaker. He looked at the film kind of as a whole. So Orson Welles called this movie, The General, the greatest comedy ever made. Huge budget too, $750,000 budget, but makes $1 million, not a lot, but then it became a huge success, later. So it's made in 1926, comes out in 1927. What's important about that? 1927 is the year that Talkies comes out with the jazz singers. So this is going to shift a lot of people. A lot of people thought that Talkies weren't going to be just a fad, because I forget, some studio chief said nobody wants to hear actors talk. So I think they're just, they were fearful of all this stuff. But so I think Buster Keaton, some of his stuff was going to be going out of style a little bit. But I just want to show you how hilarious some of these. So this isn't from The General. This is just a compilation of Buster Keaton's, genius. So they call him the Great Stone Face. You can tell at his expressions, right? Much like Jack Benny would do, where he wouldn't, it was that kind of stone face where, it's deadpan, and Jack Benny mastered that, but probably got that from Buster Keaton. Again, very different than Charlie Chaplin would the Little Tramp. Buster Keaton always had that stoic look that was hilarious. American actor and filmmaker, and known mostly for his silent films. He did do talkies later. He was friends with Chaplin. They were friends. They spoke the same language, and they were influenced by each other, of course. Buster Keaton was born. Started performing at age 3, which sounds like a joke, but no, he came from a vaudeville family. Like who? We looked at the Marx Brothers, right? when your parents are in show business and vaudeville, into vaudeville, then you just start taking in and I guess Houdini gave him the nickname Buster. So this isn't just about Buster Keaton. I mean, but this scene is very, again, another iconic scene that I want us to score, and we'll talk about kind of the assignment, but it's about this engineer guy who's Buster Keaton plays his character, and he's against these Union soldiers during the Civil War, so that it takes place during that time. And then his fiance is taken away on this train that is stolen by these guys. And so he pursues them and trying to get his fiance back. Some of the scenes are just amazing. Most of it was filmed in Oregon, using the Pacific and Eastern railroads. And a lot of these scenes were filmed with a camera, like mounted. This makes me think of Truffaut and the French New Wave, although they were 20 years later, where they would just go out with a camera, and we talked about, in their apartments and stuff. But this is pretty daring, movie making, where you just put the camera there, and back then the camera was huge. Obviously, it's not, they didn't have iPhones, I don't think. So it was, it was pretty daring filmmaking, but it was pretty cool how they just got right in there and did it. So the scene we're going to score, it's a huge climactic scene. It's across this river, and so Johnny, Buster Keaton, sets the bridge on fire after he crosses it, so the train will explode, fall down and crash. It's crazy. I mean, there was a dummy in the train, and so people that were around thought that somebody had actually died, because when they were filming it, the town made this a local holiday, so everyone could go and watch this scene that we're going to watch. So like between 3,000 and 4,000 people showed up. And then extras too, just to see this magnificent, why don't we just take a look? So, Keaton used 6 cameras here. This is like we talked about him more as not more as a filmmaker, but also not just a gag person. It wasn't just gags. He was one of the early auteurs. It was the most expensive single shot, this thing, in all of silent film history. So probably in film history up to that point, this is the most expensive scene shot. And the production company actually left all the wreckage in there in the riverbed, and it was there until like World War II. So I guess they just kept it there for 20 years or so. So obviously with with silent films, they had music, they had cards, and all that stuff. So we've scored a few silent things, or at least one with the Trip to the Moon, Georges Méliès. We did that a few months ago, but I just thought what I want to do is, and we also talked about hit points in movies, where if the scene's going along and there's something that's big that happens, the music happens with that moment. We looked at Batman a long time ago, and remember I wanted the hit point when that pan up to the bat signal comes. So I want us to do that with this. So as you're watching this is a very short scene. I want you to find that hit point when the train falls off the bridge. So it should be a piece of music that is happening and then crescendos into something, catastrophic, because this is a huge explosion. So that's what I want. I want you to find a piece of music that hits that hit point, for lack of a better word. So you can tell me, 45 seconds, this is when the hit point happens. So it shouldn't just be a constant stream of exciting music. It can be exciting, but I want it to get more exciting when that train falls. So again, a little more advanced. So find that hit point. I mean, it's easy when you watch the film, you see this explosion happening. So I want the music to explode too. So it's okay. We're going to get through this together. It's going to be fine. So send me something tomorrow or something like that would be great. And then we're going to see your hit point scene on Friday. Have a good short week planned for you guys. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.